Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Nice little crowd this evening. Good evening, Zoomers. Welcome to everyone, whether you're here in person, which we love, or you're here on Zoom. We hope you're metaphorically kicking off your shoes and relaxing, and we are here to share another peaceful hour with all of you this evening. Thank you all for coming. We have some special guests tonight. So if you've been, how many of you have been coming? You were here last week maybe, or you've been coming fairly regularly? I know I recognize you're a regular now, Lucio. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Yeah, sure. I see a lot of familiar faces. How many of you are here for the first time this evening? Welcome, Lori. Yeah, anyone else? I guess Brother Murley will be introducing you later. He's a special guest from Malaysia. Is that right? Yes, and he's going to be doing our meditative commentary later that we do at the end of the hour. So that'd be very nice. Maybe you can even, we'll leave a little time. You can tell us a little bit about yourself if you like to. Okay. All right. So we've been talking about nonviolence at a time that appears to be very violent. And as we said last week, we come here to leave the feeling of sorrow, if you can, at the doorstep. To come here and find something that isn't easy to find at home if you're listening to the news or watching the TV. That's why we come here. And it's no coincidence that the theme is nonviolence, but the topic for tonight is the silent power for lasting peace. Can anyone guess what that silent power might start with? What's silent? It's not words, right? Anybody want to hazard a guess? Okay, sure. That's going inward, right? But first, you've got to have the thought, I need to meditate. In fact, somebody came to me this evening and said, I came here because I want to learn to meditate. I need something that the outside world isn't providing, right? Necessarily. I can always have the choice to create peace in my head, maybe in my home. It's tricky. That's why I'm a student here for 7.5 years. Okay, so welcome everybody. Our guest this evening, well, first, before I introduce her, I just want to say that it's very interesting to me, and I'll talk about myself, that my thoughts very often used to go to what's wrong with me. They used to go to, I was always looking at what I needed to improve. Anybody identify with that? Anybody on Zoom? Anybody think all the time? I don't know where that started, maybe in childhood. But when I came here, I learned, and a little bit before, I've done a lot of work on this, to look at what's right. Because looking at what's wrong isn't necessarily going to help me. But if I find something here this evening that works for me, I want to take it out the door. So that if I'm going to pick up the troubles, I want to pick up something that I learned here too. Okay? So that's what we're inviting you to do tonight. Can you hear me okay? All right. Okay. So our guest this evening is Dr. Alma. I don't have your last name written here. You want to say it? Thank you. Okay. And she is a clinical psychologist, right? And has a Ph.D. in clinical supervision. And she's going to talk to us this evening. She's also practices grief counseling, mindfulness meditation, and counseling. And she does family therapy and with adolescents, children, and their families, and adults. And actually, she is the clinical director of an organization called A Vision for Self, which works on therapy with children and families. And she has been practicing Raja Yoga. That's the meditation we do here. So she's been practicing that meditation for 38 years. You don't look old enough to have done that for 38 years, but we'll believe you. And so tonight, She's going to help us look at not what's wrong, but what's right. And maybe we can form a new habit if the old habit is to beat ourselves up a little bit. Okay, so without further ado, and I just want to say, because I always forget to, Zoomers, please chat with us. You can put any comments you want. Perhaps by the end of the evening, we'll be able to hear voices too. But please, this is an interactive hour. And anybody here, if you like something, I'll walking around with a microphone. Maybe Sister Alma will be walking around also. And we have an interesting evening of a couple of little surprises and activities. Okay, so without further ado, Alma, thank you. Alma's set up a little picnic here. Can you see the picnic cloth? Red and white check cloth. And we've got some interesting things. We've got some bird seed. And I'll let you introduce the rest. Sure, whatever you're comfortable with. And if you need the handheld, I have it, okay?
Thank you so much, Sister Louise, for a very warm welcome and introduction. And I'm really excited tonight to have fun with you. It's at the end of the day, I work and I just want to relax at the end of the day. So I said, let's, less talk and more activity or fun. So the title of my talk, or I want to call it an invitation to a picnic. So I'm inviting you to my picnic, and I have the picnic blanket, and we have different things here. So my topic is on worry, right? Getting rid of worries. And I focused on this topic. There's so many feelings, but I focus on this because I think I'm an expert on this, experientially and theoretically being in this field. And for starters, I brought some bird seeds because for this picnic, we invite everybody, right? Animals, nature. So for our first activity, I will invite each person. Imagine your thoughts of worry as seeds in your mind, right? So if the bird seeds would signify your thoughts of worry, I invite you to scoop some bird seeds. Each one will have a little packet. So depending on how many words you have, you'll end up with a packet that you can take home, right? The birds will be happy. So who would like to start? You can, come, and then you can put your bag lined up and we will weigh, let's see who has what's the heavier bag or the lightest bag. So don't forget which one is your bag. Okay, would you like to start with that activity? Okay, so feel free to come up. And Sister Louise, maybe, so we don't mess up. Hello. Each one will have a paper bag. Take a scoop and get the bird seeds. So the bird seeds signify your seeds of thoughts, right? Of worries for the day. Yes. so, so, so each one, please feel free. This for everybody. Yes. And then we can line up, right? We can line it up, or you can take it with you. You can You don't have to talk about it. Yeah, that's yours, right? So just line up, enjoy the bird seeds, and it's like it's a mirror, right? It's tells us how many worries we have in our mind, in our heads. Very good. So that's yours. So take as much as you want or as little as you want. I don't want to carry that home. So this activity, I was exposed to this activity, I don't remember, but many years ago. And the reason for this is that your bag of bird seeds, what you do with this is you take it home. Right? You take it home, and then maybe in the morning when birds are chirping, you open your window and throw out the seeds of worry, right? Throw out for the birds to enjoy, because worry is for the birds. That's the significance of this activity. So take as much as you want, and so with this talk, or this will be, I will be using a lot of cultural stuff, arts, a lot of hands-on activity. So we will have an opportunity to be artists. And towards the end, I will invite you to some realization or a ceremony, but it should be fun, nothing heavy for tonight. Okay, we have enough of that. So did anybody have a chance to get a bag? I hope everybody, don't feel shy tonight, okay? We're just having fun. Very good. So anybody would like to share? What do you think? Is it accurate? How much were you surprised that, right, about yourself tonight and your bag? Anybody would like to talk or share? No. It's an eye opener, right? That, oh my goodness, that was an activity with this one. There was one participant. It was so heavy. We used to have like bigger bag. It was so heavy for for that person to take home. So that was, right, an eye opener. Okay, so I the, um I left my phone there. Anyway, um oh sure. The first slide is a picture of one of our favorite Disney characters, the evil, like, stepmother of Snow White, right? It's just to signify how, right, we have to look in the mirror every day, right? You can't help but, I don't think anyone would skip looking at oneself in a mirror. And there's always a chance to look at ourselves. And so tonight is an opportunity, right, to do this. Okay. Okay, so that's the one. And then I'd like to introduce to you some parts of where I come from. I'm originally from the Philippines, and I've invited my friends from the Philippines. So this is like, what's now, 6:30 or 7:15 in the morning. Some of my friends in Europe, in Australia, right? Because I told them, they they don't really know what I do with my life, and so it's, so they're like, okay, I wonder what Alma's doing these days. So thank you. Thank my friends, thank everybody here who showed up tonight. Okay, so we're talking about worries, and for me, so I'm from the Philippines, and I'd like to show some pictures of the Philippines. One My favorite place is the island of Bohol. The Philippines is made up of 7,000 islands, right? You can own an island there. Actually, Brad Pitt, yeah, he bought an island. I'll show you the picture where he bought an island. So the Bohol Island is special because it has what you call the chocolate hills, right? You'll see many hills in one island. I don't know. Oh, okay. Ooh. So why do I focus on chocolate hills? Because there's a particular animal that I think is the perfect epitome of worry. And lives in Bohol. I don't know if you've heard of the tarsier. A tarsier is it's as big as 5 inches. It's very unique. Its body parts are like, it has the tail of a monkey, right? His eyes as big as its brain. And it could jump backwards. So you could read the special qualities of the tarsier. And the very unique thing about it is throughout its lifetime, it clings to a twig all throughout its lifetime because there were attempts to transport it or transplant it, or somebody wants it as a pet. And what happens? It dies. So if you look at how, the different parts again, it has actual hands. His tail is like the monkey's. It can hold on to anything. And he really does amazing things. Imagine, it clings to the branch for the rest of its life.
Alma, can I ask a question? Does he die because he lets go of the branch?
Yes, because of
Oh, look how frightened he looks.
yeah. So that's it.
Tense.
Hangs on to the twig.
It's making me crazy looking at him.
Okay, I think I wrote here that it just, I can't help but think of our own fixed beliefs about things, like, oh, I can't live without this, or right. We have our own little things like this. And I thought that was interesting. And then the next, do you have any questions about the animal? So yeah, it's really my favorite animal. And the next picture I also got attracted to, or my favorite animal, second favorite animal is a condor. It's a magnificent bird. I don't know if it's bigger than an eagle, but I was inspired by it, by a story by I think Sister Rona. The story goes that I don't know, Louise, if you. Oh, can you hear me? It's okay. Okay, fine. The story goes that a condor's egg rolled into a farm, right? And then it hatched, and then the condor chick grew up with the chickens. It's like a bunny duckling. And then one day, right, it looked up the sky and saw this adult condor, right, in its magnificence, flying in the sky. And he said, "Oh, I wish I could be like that bird. But alas, I'm just a chicken." So it spent the rest of its life being a chicken. I guess the point here for me is that if we cling to these beliefs because we are afraid to move out of our comfort zone, right, what happens, right? What are the repercussions of hanging on to our worries? And being a psychologist, I've seen in my clients effects physical, right? Physical and of course psychological. Physical in the sense that the gut, right? They call it now an emotional gut, because if you worry, if you're depressed, right? You get this IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, right? And insomnia, right? Which affects performance, affects relationships. And just today, right? A student of mine told me, right? It kept him awake. It's just worrying about things in his life, but also about the world. So, worrying, it's so automatic that it's good that we become more aware that we don't have to hang on to oops, these beliefs of ours about ourselves and of the world. Okay, next slide is okay, so I'm supposed to talk about active nonviolence um, and I heard from Louise that this group here, then you're pretty savvy about right your role, the person, and how we can do harm or violence to ourselves just by the thoughts we create. So nonviolence is really making sure, as Louise said, we have to guard our peace, right? Our peace of mind, especially in this worrisome times. Okay? And so Louise, just jump in if you have anything to say to that. Okay, our next. Okay, if we read the definition of nonviolence, it's basically right. It's a process to ending violence without violence. Right. You can't fight fire with fire. Right. Firefighters use water, so you can't end violence with violence or little force. For transforming conflict and for protecting the vulnerable. Active nonviolence. Okay. It pursues not with passivity, but with creative engagement and determined resistance. We mobilize our courage and creativity. We do not escape conflict. It's not a perfect life or perfect world, but we actively and powerfully engage and transform it. How do we transform it? Just by being ourselves. I like in one of the readings, we read the Daily Worley, Raj Yoga, and what I like the most, it says that wherever you go, there is service just by being yourself. And I saw this quotation: "Do what you do, just do what you do." And especially this group, you're so aware, right, of your own uniqueness and your knowledge about managing and transforming your thoughts into actions. And that's the whole benefit I got from Raj Yoga. So active nonviolence is basically building peace to safeguard the infinite worth of the human person. And the infinite worth starts with ourselves. We cannot give value to the other, right, if we don't first experience value in ourselves. And to care for creation, nature, birds, animals, climate. Are there any questions for now? The benefits of nonviolence is trauma healing. If we approach violence with nonviolence or peace, it heals trauma. It doesn't exacerbate it. So the next slide is, well, there's a part in the Philippines here. Given the world is not perfect, in the Second World War, a lot of Americans have sacrificed their lives. So without peace, right, without nonviolence, it ends up like this. So, but I don't. So that's do I have the number here, but it's the largest cemetery. Anyway. So the next slide now is the challenge. Okay, we skip that. And then we skip this. So if you look at this, even in difficult situations, there's benefit. Right? And how can you see this? In the next slide, I want to share with you my favorite artwork, which is Mona Lisa. The real, I don't know if you're aware of you've seen it, but the title of that painting is really Serenity in the Midst of Adversity. Because Mona Lisa was a widow, a rich widow, and had her portrait done. So the challenge to us is, how do we maintain our serenity, right? In the midst of all this, the world outside. So the next slide is oh, okay, this is an activity. Anyway, it's an activity now. I started painting, like maybe some of you start a new hobby during the pandemic, right? I never drew a thing in my life, but now I like to create things. So I'd like to invite you to do that. And the one who really helped me get rid of my, we have this perfectionism that has to look good, so it kind of immobilizes me other things. But my favorite painter artist is Bob Ross. And so if I'm going to stand up now, I have some paper and some, have you seen this kind of artwork? Louis, my sister Louis. No? Yeah, I don't know if I will stand or so. The one who taught me how to paint, yeah. If we could give one, you want to stand up and get your paper, and we're going to paint clouds. We got to paint clouds, right? And if you see the slides, what I like about Bob Ross is, you know, how many you know Bob Ross, right? With the, his afro, he has it done, right? It's not natural. He would get a perm. Oh, wow.
Is he still with us? No.
Yeah.
I remember him drawing little teeny, what did he say? Tiny, tiny trees.
Yes.
I forget the language.
Tiny trees, they hide a multitude of sins. Yeah. And now clouds, right? So it's an invitation to people, you just want, with this one, it's called pastels. Actually, it's my daughter-in-law who introduced it. I didn't know a thing about art. So you can work with your hands. So you can choose the colors you want. You can create your own colors, and you can just make clouds. If you see, yeah, that's there because I have to look for clouds that are like, ooh, whatever is comfortable, right? Yeah. You can do white, whoever wants to come up, and you can do, that's why cloud, yeah, with your color, like whites and.
I don't know.
So this is plastic. Yeah, you want to sit around here, right? It's like, yeah. Let's have fun, and we're flexible here. You've been coming here regularly, so this is your home, but practically, definitely. Okay, thank you, Louise. If you don't, or you can take home the paper, and so, or you can start. So either one. Maybe I'll make one my own. And then he would describe the clouds. I think it's the next slide. He says that, these little clouds, we should learn from the clouds, because the clouds, as Bob Ross described it, I like how described it. The clouds just float around and have fun all day, right? And then remember how free clouds are. They just lay around in the sky all day long. Do you remember your carefree days? Yeah, just draw, and you'll be surprised, you know? Look at this.
Now, what do they draw?
Anything. That's what's so interesting. At the end of your drawing, you'll be shocked, like, oh,
What's the
fine.
thing? What do you?
Well, I started with clouds. You can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. And it's yours. It's such a, today is a mirror, I said, it's a mirror, whatever you want to discover about yourself. So listen, we're not looking who's drawing better or what, right? We stop that. That's why I like Bob Ross. You just enjoy it. And he had the saying, if you painted or did something artistic, it's a good day. It's not, we're not results oriented here. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. That's the whole point of it.
Whatever you want. How about the people in Zoom?
So people in Zoom, I have friends who are artists who also started painting during the pandemic. Would you like to share any new hobbies or any new interests that sprung up during the pandemic? Anybody?
I have one I can talk about.
Okay.
Anybody want to share?
There are no right or wrong answers, right? We're just talking about, life.
Okay, we have one customer here, and anyone on Zoom can put it in chat.
Okay, there are five.
Want to say your name?
There are five on the chat. So
My name's Bob, and
Hi, Bob.
what I did for the first time during the pandemic was I discovered Zoom. I discovered having meetings, with Zoom, and just, I had a group with one person where I studied my religion with him, and another I did meditation. So yes, actually that's the benefit for the pandemic for me was discovering Zoom and being able to interface with people all over the world.
that's fantastic, right? In any situation, there's a benefit.
Anyone else?
That's yours. Or you want to show it to the group and talk about it, any meaning or the process. If you enjoyed it and you want to share with the.
And those on Zoom, get out a piece of paper and pretend you're 5 years old and you're in kindergarten again, right? The freedom, the expression. When's the last time we did that? Okay.
There are 5 comments in the chat.
Oh, there are. Eric, do you see the chat? There are 5 comments, she said.
Oh,
See it.
the chats.
Oh, I see. I can't see it though.
Should I? I don't know.
Check on your phone.
Okay,
I don't know. Okay.
I'll
Hi,
check
but-
it.
Anybody else? Any new interest? Any new discovery about yourselves? Okay.
Yeah, here we go. I don't have anything on chat. I don't see anything on my chat, Brother Eric. Not about the topic.
I'm afraid to touch this.
I know Sherry has seen, what's his name again, the artist?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Yeah.
He's so happy. He was always so happy in nature. I'll tell you what I started during Zoom. I became a very serious student of Raj Yoga. It was a gift to me because I was always just coming a couple of nights a week to Harmony House and dabbling in it, loving it, but never making time, working in the evenings. And all of a sudden, it gave me the freedom to find something that we're all looking for here. Yeah. So those little gifts you were talking about, when things seem to be going wrong, and we can always look at it as our teacher to find a way. I'm thinking of musicians because my husband is a former musician, and how these people right away got on Zoom and for no money, and they were having trouble sustaining themselves financially, but they were there. They found a way to push through and create and bring us music, bring us art. So it never would have happened. It's as though you find your higher self. I'm also old enough to remember as an adult 9/11 and how people banded together when things got tough, and they produced, they loved each other in a new way. I know my son and his wife, new couple in the city, ministering to people on the street,
Wow.
and just bringing the world together in the way that we forget to do sometimes, if we're not pushed by adversity sometimes. And then we find other ways to find it here without necessarily the negative push. Can you imagine waking up and feeling like Bob Ross and feeling peaceful right out of bed, no matter what's going on outside?
And he has a pet squirrel, right? The squirrel kept coming to his backyard and he adopted it. Brought it. Well, not going to do it, but it's amazing how he loved life.
Yeah. We have another comment here. I'm studying and enjoying sound therapy, a little different than the therapeutic music I did before COVID. Do you know anything about those therapies?
No, we should, right? We invite people.
That's Sherry again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we
Sherry.
invite Sherry to speak, Brother Eric, if she wants to? Or anyone on Zoom? Are we able to do that tonight? Okay, here we come. Sherry, if you'd like to speak with us this evening.
Can I be heard?
Hi.
So, oh my goodness.
Sherry, do you have a cell phone on and another device?
Yes.
Get a little echo.
Hold on.
Sounds very musical, Sherry.
Okay, would you like to?
Okay, so sorry. I don't know why that happens to me a lot. It is probably bad sound therapy. But,
Well, one thing at a time. Let's let Sherry speak first, okay?
so now can I be heard?
We have someone on Zoom who's speaking. Sherry, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm so grateful for this topic tonight. I really love to be able to, be in the healing arts again. At least I'm not really doing it too much anymore for my living like I used to do. All of my work dried up during COVID, but I really went back and I committed to studying with this music therapist, but she does a lot with sound therapy, which is slightly different than just doing the live therapeutic music. And it can be things, like gongs or huge drums, or it can be, other instruments as well. It's just how you use them and how they're applied. And it's just really, it's very freeing. And I'm actually in a year-long study with this, and some of the teachers I've had have been incredible. They're showing us how careful we have to be with what we're feeling, we're thinking, and what we're creating, because it's so powerful. The sound is so powerful, and light is so powerful. And our thoughts combined and our intentions with that are very healing. But on the other end of the spectrum, if we're not careful, that of course can be destructive, which we don't want to do. And I'm just really enjoying this training. It's fantastic. Some of these teachers are amazing. Like one man is an inventor, and he's a physicist, and some of the stuff he teaches is way beyond me. But then we have these other sound people, a professional, people that have worked with sound for many, many, many years. There's lots of research on all this stuff too, which is kind of left brain, but wonderful, really wonderful applications of creative energy and a way to break through dark places, a way to break through, how stuck we can get. And so I really enjoy that. I like it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Can I
Thank you,
show
Sharon.
some artwork?
Yes, we have some artwork here. Okay, you want to start with that one, and then you want to come up and talk about yours? Sure, but if you'd like to talk
I
to
think
the
this
audience.
from Morley, right? Morley, you want to come and talk about your artwork? And then you're next.
This is Morley from Malaysia. right?
Talk about the artwork.
Hold that
Yeah.
like an ice cream.
Of course, she told me to draw some clouds. So I drew some clouds and I put a sun in between. And
What were you feeling when you were drawing?
my feeling was that the clouds are there and the clouds are white and very beautiful. And then there's a sun that shines from behind. And the sun is very, what do you call it? In the evening, you can see the sun setting, that orange color. So that beauty is mixed, the sun's beauty and also the clouds' beauty in the sky.
Wow.
That's
So
so
it's a picture of a sunset. Nice. We talk about clouds now. We're creating sunsets. And what is your name? Kishi, come show us your
Kishi.
artwork.
Come on up.
I love
Hold
the
this to you.
colors.
Okay, okay, yeah. It's this one. It's,
You want to come in the middle so people
Oh,
could see on the Zoom?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I made clouds and then I wanted to put the sun, and I love orange is my favorite color. So I put like the sunset orange that I've seen in the sky when sunset time comes. And then I said, but some clouds have rain also.
Mm.
So you see the drops coming out of these drops and these drops from this cloud especially. And then I said, oh, I have to put in a tree also because, and then when I got back there, I said, I should have put mountains, but there was no place. So, why did you want to do that? Which dog? You were looking for a piece of a dog. No, I was looking for a dark paper because clouds are white.
Mm.
And I said it will show better if I use it on a dark paper. I could have used, I didn't see the other. When I saw the blue, I said sky is blue. So that's perfect for me.
Well, listen to what you just said. You said in order to see the brightness and the white, we need a dark background sometime, like adversity, right? And we find our higher selves. This is very symbolic. Can you tell I taught English? And I was, yeah, that's me. Yeah, I bring everything to metaphors and themes. Yeah, I like what you said. Yeah. Lovely to see you again this week. Anyone else? Comment on someone else's or their own, or is there anything on anyone on Zoom?
Louise, I like your comment about like letting your higher self come out. And this is a window, right? It's a window of our eternal self. Whatever is there, you'll be surprised what you come up with. So it's good to, right, just do it. And they call it art therapy. And then if you compile, if you keep drawing anything, just do it without, without judgment, just enjoy the process. And then you'll be surprised what comes out. Also, and then look at this. You have like-minded, sunny outlook despite the clouds, right? So it's nice to have kindred spirits here. So I encourage you, any form of art, music. Have you tried any of these? Anybody have explored sculpting? Anybody here? Yes?
There we go.
I like to play the organ. I have an organ at home, so I enjoy playing that. I'm not great, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, right. It's the process of doing it. If you paint, if you play the organ, it's a good day, right? Kind of shifts the energy. Okay, we're coming to my part is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And on the floor, you'll see, okay, you'll see some twigs.
I got the twigs.
Our picnic is ending, at least my part. So, okay, it's like, I'm giving you a twig to remind you of my favorite animal, the tarsier.
Should we give them out?
Yes, I don't know if you want to take home a twig. I picked them up fresh. They're fresh this afternoon.
As you leave, we'll give you something to eat, but right now you're getting a twig.
Yeah, when you come here, you get fed, you get a blessing. That's why I always come here. Makes each day special. They make it very special each day. So that twig, when you're ready, right? In your mind, whatever worries or hanging on to, right? When you're ready, how I got this idea? I remember the first time I met this organization, I was in the Philippines, 1985. And I don't know if you're aware of Daddy Yankee. Have you heard of Daddy Yankee, right? Right? Sorry. She was 100. How old, Sister Anjani? 104 years old. And she was the one who introduced me to Raja Yoga, but she didn't talk to me directly. I was in a public program and she said, "Okay, do you have the courage? Right? Do you have the courage?" And she was giving out these, like medals. I didn't know what it was, but I said, "Yeah, I have courage." So I lined up, right? I got my, little badge and I'm here ever since. And I'm enjoying every minute and loving the journey. So it's like a ceremony, the little twig ceremony. You can do it anytime. I hope it reminds you of the 5-inch tarsier and his little twig. We all have twigs. Okay.
Any other
I'm done.
comments? Any Zoomers want to say something? Anybody here?
Yeah, I see 6 chats.
Others, can you read what they're saying?
Should I?
Yeah.
Play with this? Okay.
I've only seen 2.
One from Carol. Oh, she was commenting on the visuals.
Yeah, I saw that. That's an
Oh,
old
okay.
one. And Sherry, anyone after Sherry?
After share, I'm studying, enjoying. Okay, that's the last one. I'm studying, enjoying.
Yeah, so you saw 6? No.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's it. Do you have any questions? Yes. Well, remember how the little tarsier was hanging on to a twig, and then it's like we have a twig in our life, right? That we want. You're always hanging on. If we don't have it, like life is nothing. Sometimes we have those, right? All or nothing kind of stuff. So,
But he looks so frightened.
yes.
So anyone here or there have anything they're clinging to because they're scared to let go of it? That's what I see when I see him,
Right.
And he dies if he lets go.
Well, yeah, that's right. We have
Anybody?
the ego is like
Ego.
and
You're-
it's very
Wow.
hard to let go, because the ego is the
You're
hardest
right.
of all the things.
The ego.
I, me, my,
Oh, yes. I, me, mine,
you
right?
know, what good will this do me?
Mm,
What will I get out of it? If I don't do such a thing, what will happen to me?
right.
So many, that's the ego is the worst of the bad things. And that's what I thought. And I believe it because it's so, we are always thinking from our perspective of
Mhm,
things.
mhm.
We may be wrong, we may be right, but the first thing we think about is, oh, how does this impress? What kind of an impression is this? No one is.
Yeah. The biggest. Yeah. Right. Because we see ourselves as an image, as having self-esteem. We need esteem from others. I've said this before. I learned here that if I want to be esteemed, I have to do esteemable acts.
Mm,
Yeah. You
Right.
can't say, you should respect me. It doesn't work, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
always-
we have this image of ourselves as I am this and I am that. I'm the mother. I'm the mother. I'm the teacher. I'm the
Our roles, right? That's
exactly.
the-
Yeah. So why don't we let go of that? Why not?
That's a big word, attachment, right? Attachment.
Everything that has to do in our life, like we are so attached to our children. We're so
Mm.
attached to our life partners. Look what happens when things go wrong with any of those
Mm.
people. We suffer so much because of our attachment to that, whoever it is. Even when my dog died, I got depressed.
Yes.
I had to go to a psychiatrist
Yes. Yeah.
and take antidepressants because he was like my third child. I
Mhm.
couldn't get over it. It took me a long time to get over it. And then my children said, oh, we'll buy you another one. I said, no,
Mm.
I cannot go through this suffering again. Because every pet will die sooner or later,
Yes.
probably before us.
Right.
Then who's going to take care of it? That's another.
Mhm. Worry, right?
Can you
Interesting,
imagine not
very
worrying?
interesting. You want to be
Ah,
free.
how can you change your attitude? So
You want to
don't
be
have to worry?
free.
I'm sorry. Am I talking?
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to.
No, go ahead.
You want to be worry free, right? Carefree.
It's hard, but it's so rewarding. If you have a dog, realize how many dogs are strays and you have someone to take care of while he's here. See? Isn't that what you were talking about? The
Yes.
thought, right? Come back to the
Yes,
thought.
yes.
Remember you said,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
These little things, right? That they grow.
right.
So 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So would we like to, I just want to invite everyone to come next week. We have Eric, brother Eric, speaking, and he will, I think, conclude the month. Is that right? 23rd, yeah, on nonviolence. So come see brother Eric next week. And we have a guest here today, Merle. Brother Merle Ben, if you would like to come up and in any way you're inspired this evening to share, we're going to give him your
This is
chair.
Brother Merle's
Oh,
masterpiece.
Right.
Okay.
And you can, let's move the chair to the center for him. Okay. Peace. Do you want to say anything additionally about your piece? Peace, P-E-A-C-E. And welcome. So what brings you here from Malaysia? Hi, everyone. Can you? What?
I'm currently rendering my service to the United Nations. Um, so I've taken this opportunity to be here for some spiritual service and also some physical service. So I have some thoughts that I would like to share with you all, but then we will do it as a silent reflection. Okay. So I would like to, on this non-violence and something related to what Dr. Alma and Louis shared. So let us sit relaxed. So breathe in deeply and slowly. Feel yourself becoming very peaceful. There are many individuals in this world currently who are experiencing violence. Some part of the world is also going through a series of external violence. And because of the situations and circumstances, those who are observing are also experiencing some inner violence. To support, many of them are giving physical support. Many individuals in this world are upset. They are also angry and they have fear. Some become a victim and they are in deep sorrow. Many individuals are helping them physically. They are giving social support. But in my mind, I can also contribute to support them. And the way I can support them is by being non-violent. So I bring myself to a peaceful state of mind. This peaceful feeling is a feeling of non-violence. While many others can give us the support of physical support, but what actually many of them need at this present moment is the vibration, is the energy of peace to take them away from the feelings of fear, doubt, and worry. My feelings of peace towards myself and towards any individual in this world is my contribution. Of being non-violent. this energy that I am experiencing, this vibration and the energy of peace that I am experiencing as a living being in this body is being transmitted. And every individual who gets this vibration will have the opportunity to liberate themselves from the feelings of violence. So the more I become peaceful, the more I could contribute, and the more I could bring benefit to every individual, regardless whether they are the victim of violence, they are the supporters using violence to stop the violence, to restore peace, or whether they are the social workers, whoever it is. My peaceful feelings is one of the greatest contributions that I can give. Because at such a time, everyone is looking for peace. And when I am peaceful, my feelings is automatically transferred and is being experienced by everyone.
So this is the silent power. If I understand what you're saying, and I don't know that everyone's sitting here, if I can just take a second and ask you, do you understand what you can do without words? Does this make sense to you? You look at someone's eyes, and you see their mood. If someone is really near tears and desperate, can you make them feel better with your countenance, with your face, with your vibration? So that's just the tip of the iceberg here. Come back next week. We'll talk some more. And on your way out, we have a blessing for everyone. I want to thank Alma so much for coming to us this evening and opening up the door of our minds. And thank you so much. I hope we'll see you again. Will you be here a few days? Good. Okay. Om Shanti, everyone. See you next week.